Good morning. Good morning, everyone. So it is Eastern time, 7:30 a.m. My mother and I got up at 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m.-ish.
I got up at 4.
She got up at 4. You have to speak up because...
I got up at 4.
Okay. She
You
got up at
slept
4.
in.
I did. I slept in. It was almost 4:15 when I got out of bed. So we are on the road. There's also going to be interesting things that happen like this.
Yeah, but I don't
Somebody
have to,
tell me what's going
I
on.
don't have to worry about getting pulled over for speeding because all the cops were back there.
Okay. To keep to yourself. But we started our day, one of my favorite podcasts to listen to on the road. Now, I like a lot of podcasts. I like all those self-help podcasts. I like all the personal development podcasts. But when I'm on the road, especially with someone else, they typically don't like to listen to the top 10 ways to succeed in entrepreneurial endeavors in 2019. So my second favorite type of podcast is informational, kind of like weird information. Trivia. And I love stuff you should know. But as my mom and I were listening to this, we're like, we know or think we know a lot of stuff as well. We should have a podcast. We don't even need to research because we decided that this morning we're going to treat you to a very special travel edition of our brand new podcast called Stuff That We Think We Know. Stuff that we think we know. So if you're tuning in live, by the way, this is like groundbreaking. This has never been done before. It's a new podcast. It is going to be, I've been really promoting Nicole Walters' podcast, and I feel a little sorry for her now because this is going to just blow her podcast out of the water. It's going to be so popular. So welcome to the first episode of Stuff We Think We Know, featuring Regina Jenkins.
Hey, good morning.
Keep your eyes on the road. And Gretchen Gegg. Also, our little companion, Lucy. Go ahead. Everyone tell us how she should not be riding there. We will also accept criticism kindly. We will smile and nod, which we're good at. So this morning we're discussing houndswomen. But they're still titled houndsmen.
Even though they're a female, they're still called the houndsmen.
So they're still titled the houndsmen, which is interesting enough, I think, in its own. I'm basically here for snarky comments. This should be called Stuff My Mom Thinks She Knows and Her Smart-Ass Daughter. That's what it should be called.
That's my life.
That is her life. In fact, we could do another episode. Our next episode might feature a second smart-ass daughter. That will be a good one. Okay, Stuff We Think We Know, houndsmen. All right, Mom, I want you to explain what a houndsman is. Go for it. And just keep your eyes on the road. I will film you.
Okay. A houndsman is a person there's hunt clubs. And these are clubs that participate in fox hunts, although they don't use a real fox anymore, which is a whole nother subject. But the houndsman is the person that is in charge of the hounds. That's why they're called a houndsman. Now, that is like it's an honorable position, but it comes with a lot of responsibility because you got to take care of all the dogs, right?
It's also
a voted on position.
It's a voted on, no, that's not what you said earlier.
A voted on job, that's it.
It's a voted on job, which in lay terms is an elected position. So that also,
I liked voted on job.
Who elects the person though?
I reckon the hunt club, according to my research.
Yeah.
The hunt club. The research that I did while I was driving.
In your own head?
In my own head, I searched my back files, and it's the hunt club. And there's lots of different hunt clubs. So anyway, I was early in the morning, there was a fox hunt. Long story, even longer. There was a fox hunt going on this morning, and everyone was gathering. The horses were warming up, and the people were...
Not this morning, mind you.
No.
Not like today. We didn't go at like 2 a.m. to
One
watch
morning.
the Houndsmen. This was
One
a
morning.
morning.
One morning, okay. And everybody was saying, I mean, I heard comments like, where's the Houndsman? When is the Houndsman going to be here? And so every comment about the Houndsman just built this person up. And I thought, first of all, what a cool title to be called the Houndsman. That's like a fairy tale. Like there's Little Red Riding Hood, the grandma, and what was that? The hunter?
The wolf.
No, the guy that comes in anyway. The Houndsman. It sounds
The
like
Huntsman.
okay. The Houndsman sounds a
Snow
lot.
White and the Huntsman.
Okay, but it's a cool title.
But Red Riding Hood.
It is a fairy tale title.
Snow Red Riding Hood and the Huntsman.
Snow Red Riding Hood and the Huntsman. That's like the fairy tales that I grew up on. So this was big.
Those were
This was
also,
cool.
I mean, we need to also do an episode on the stuff we think we know about fairy tales, because fairy tales were very gory back when you were young.
Yes.
Like when Hans Christian Andersen was alive.
Oh, it was just heads getting cut off and people being bled. It's fine. That's just life. You might as well teach them about life when they're little.
Right.
Murder,
I want to teach my 1-year-old about heads being cut off and
Right.
people being bled.
giants falling from the sky and dying on
You
impact.
realize these were not real. Jack and the Beanstalk is not real. That's stuff
To
I know
you.
I know.
To you, maybe.
Okay, all right,
There are
moving
very
on.
real aspects because some people's giants are like psychological
Okay,
giants.
no. That'll be for our psychology episode. That will be a hot one. So many people will tune
And
into.
those magic beans, let me tell you,
Okay,
those come with the story all on their own. Okay, where was I?
you were
Huntsman.
waiting
Okay.
for the Houndsmen to show
The
up.
Houndsman's coming, and in my mind, this is going to be like this giant of a man, the protector of the world, and tall boots, and maybe even a cape. You know, because they're going to have that type of superhero qualities.
And then
The Houndsman.
feminism.
Shush. The Houndsman shows up. The Houndsman's here. I hear the cry echoing across the crowd. The Houndsman's here. The Houndsman's here. So here comes this shush. Here comes this big dually truck pulling up with the coolest trailer, because it's a special trailer made for the hounds. So this dually comes pulling up and jumps out this tiny petite little woman with all the same, everything except the cape.
Like I said, feminism showed up and slapped her.
Oh my gosh.
Slapped her across the face.
I thought this is
Said,
got to
how dare you?
be... No,
woman?"
I thought this was... Okay, in my mind, I was the houndsman. I became her, the coolest woman in the world, the one with all the power, all the dogs. It was one of those moments...
Pause.
Wait,
We're currently traveling over the Great PD River. I needed to point that out. Okay, go.
I thought this woman is the coolest woman on the face of the planet, and if I could model my life after this woman, I would be all powerful.
That's exactly what a houndsman is. Now, we're going to talk about fox urine, because that is also a very important part of becoming a houndsman. And yes, little girl, you too can be a houndsman. Don't let those people putting you in a pink tutu and people like my mom who are assuming that it's only a man's job keep you from being a houndsman.
I'm a product of my generation.
I know you are, but you do a great job overcoming that. Okay, now tell everyone about the fox urine.
All right, somebody has to go up, because they no longer hunt real foxes, because that's like something from a Grimm's fairy tale, tearing apart a little fox, a little innocent fox. So they no longer hunt with real foxes. Instead, they take a bag of dehydrated fox urine and drag it to make a trail, with either like dragging behind a horse or a four-wheeler. So I'm thinking, where in the heck do they get dehydrated fox urine?
We don't want to know, so if you know, please don't tell us. Thank you.
No, those poor little foxes, peeing like it's their job, because in fact it is their job. Do they get electrolytes put in their water, or are they just overhydrated?
No, we don't want to go there. It's something much more gruesome, I'm sure.
It's something that belongs in a fairy tale.
Yes, it definitely is. Well, there you go. That is what a houndsman is from the very first inaugural episode of Stuff We Think We Know.
We need music there.
We need music there. We don't have it yet.
I can.
So we are going to log out now, say sayonara. We would love feedback. We are not on iTunes. We are not where you get all your podcasts. We are in a very awkward place, which is on Instagram and Facebook.
On I-95. That's
So
where we
feel
are.
free to review us somewhere. We don't know where because we're not on all the podcast shows yet. If you are a fun, fancy podcast editor and want to pay us to travel around and learn things that we don't already know and then pretend like we already know them and talk about them on the way there before we learn about them, please hit us up because we are open to compensation for what we think we know. All right, bye-bye.